Sandra walked around the house like a busy little bee. She had a lot to do if they were going to go. And she wanted to go. She wanted to go more than anything. What fueled this desire was something simple. She wanted her teenage daughter to be just that teenager. Not some diaper-wearing baby. Lizzie sat in her playpen and watched her mother scurry around. Something is up, she told herself, and began to wonder what. Sandra went about the day working on packing up to leave for the 4-day 4th of July weekend that was coming up. Soon she had everything in order. She just had one more thing to do. Calmly she sat in her favorite chair and looked at her daughter. Lizzie just smiled. Sandra reached for the phone and called her mother. This was gonna be a tough one to explain, and she needed to explain it. Grabbing the cordless phone, she walked out of the room. She did not want her daughter hearing the conversation. Lizzie sat in her playpen and wondered what was up. Her mother had not been that jumpy in a long time. She only gets jumpy like that when she has to deal with her mother. That was when Lizzie started to put two and two together. For as long as she could remember, she and her mother had gone to visit her mother for 4th of July weekend. It was a big deal of the summer, and Lizzie looked forward to it. It was a time to see Grandma and her cousins and the rest of the family that lived close by. Lizzie suddenly had a thought. Her mother was gonna go this year like always. She was gonna have to be a baby with all of her relatives nearby. This thought made her shudder and worry. She was okay with her baby self, but to expose it to others would be tough. She had only been able to show it to her mother because of what happened. She was not sure she could expose it to the whole family, as it were. Lizzie was deep in this thought when her mother spoke to her. Lizzie. Hearing her name made her jump. Sorry, did not mean to scare you. Are you ready to go? Her mother asked. Go where? Lizzie tried to ask innocently. You know where, came the answer. So it was true, Lizzie was gonna be a baby to her whole family. But mother, Lizzie started to say. Do not but mother me. Sandra cut her off. You wanted to be a baby and I told you that was okay, but it had to be for the summer. You know we go to Grandma's house every year. Did you think I would cancel just cause you're in diapers? Well, yeah, Lizzie said matter-of-factly. Well, you were wrong. Sandra continued. I am perfectly willing to take my baby daughter to visit her grandma and anyone else who happens to be there. You wanted to be a baby, and so a baby you are. That means wherever we go. So suck it up. Now do you need to be changed? I don't think so, came the answer. Sandra just shook her head and walked over to her daughter to check for herself. Lizzie, you're soaked. Let's get you changed and then we are out of here. The two of them made their way up to Lizzie's room, and soon a diaper was changed and they were both in the car heading the 6 hours to Grandma's house. Both of them completely unaware as to how the weekend would turn out. Both worried for their own reasons as to what the weekend meant. The drive to Grandma's house was a long one. It takes 6 hours to get there, and both of them sat in silence. Sandra had handed Lizzie her pacifier as they pulled out of the driveway, and Lizzie sat sucking it, a little nervous. She was mostly worried about the other cars passing by. She was sure they could see her sitting there sucking on a pacifier. Lizzie was deep in thoughts. She was not sure she wanted to go to Grandma's house. After all, for the past month she had been enjoying being a baby in private. Now she was gonna have to be one in a very public situation. She was going to be in diapers in front of her grandmother and all her cousins. This bothered her, and she was not sure why. After all, she wanted to be a baby with all her heart. Something just did not seem right at the moment. Sandra was thinking about different things. Other than watching the road, she wondered if this trip was gonna be the relaxing vacation they were used to. Probably not, she reasoned as she pulled onto the highway. Lizzie continued to suck on her pacifier. Sandra looked at her daughter and smiled. She looked good today, sitting in the passenger seat in a pink tank top and pair of jeans. her diaper poking out of the top. Truth be told, she looked cute.